Sí, exacto.
Sí, sí. Ujú.
Did you understand what she said?
No.
Did you, regardless of whether you understood it with your mind, did you receive what she said?
Oh, yes.
Loveliness. I'm just.
Well, then there's no need for me to translate it. And she was really just saying the same thing. I didn't really translate much, but it didn't really matter. I said, whatever I said is not really interesting anyway. It's not important. So who cares? We share our being. That's enough. Compartiendo nuestros seres, lo único que importa. If you happen to be aware of some mechanism within you that is conserving energy by separating itself and claiming some quality that it does not have, like being, loveliness. If there's anybody who is reflecting on such an object, then itself it is an object, and we can investigate.
What do you mean by conserving energy by separating itself?
Yes.
Do you mean like taking up energy from the system?
Well, the act of creating objects, it's making the entirety of ourselves, which is a mystery, unknowable, non-objectable. It cannot be objectified. Oh, I'm going to make it known. In the act of making something known, we use a lot of energy, but we also encase it with a coating of information which separates it from the rest. See what I mean? Oh, it's Crystal and it's not Dolores, so they're different. So I know her, but she's different. You see what I mean?
And is that conserving energy? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it uses up a lot of energy, but at the same time, it conserves energy by attempting to make something stable.
Oh, okay. Putting it in a compartment.
Yes, because if you put it in these compartments, then in a sense they're safe. Well, I can refer to it again and again, and that process of having to not start over again every time makes it efficient, so that it's a savings in energy, which is beautiful. But a lot of the times that process is used by ourselves in ignorance as a way to avoid the truth, which is that I don't know anything. There's no safety or unsafety. It just is. Whatever it is, it's a mystery, but it is. So, of course, that form of energy conservation can be very useful when used by reason. We can give an example. In society, when people categorize each other based on whatever measurement you like, they use that measurement as a way of making a generalization. And that generalization is a savings mechanism, because there's a lot less energy expenditure in saying, oh, everybody who dresses like that is such and such. They say, well, oh, she's dressed like that, but actually she's not like that. You see, that takes more energy. See what I mean? Making blanket statements and generalizations and polarities saves energy. It makes us safe from the effort of having to actually see that that's not really a person, it's me, whoever I am. There's no difference. We share our being always. If you go to that extreme, then that is a huge energy savings, but there's no conservation. Just seeing everybody as yourself is much more efficient, much more elegant, beautiful than making separations and categories. You don't have to dedicate any energy to putting such and such in this box or that box. I mean, it's very complicated. Estoy hablando del marco de referencia. Que su uso simultáneamente conserva energía, pero también requiere de mucha energía para ser mantenido.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm trying to conserve a lot of energy.
Is it you?
No, but it's yeah, it's exactly like that. It's like so I feel like it's an interesting group because when I came on, I could see that I like some part of me was not just this group, but like people don't feel like people are a threat in some way. And so then I was thinking, well, I know that everyone is fine, everyone is okay. But then to some part of me is, not okay. So I know I'm not that part. And also it's like a loop that goes, it's just like a scratch in the record that goes, that keeps objectifying the the other and then the me, and then I'm not me, but so.
Well, would you be willing to share it with us explicitly right now as it happens?
Yeah, I think I could share a little bit because it started to not feel as intense. Like it felt a little bit more. I had some little bit more of awareness that it was of not being it or not being the object, and so then I could talk about it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it feels like it doesn't feel as but it felt very like, yeah, you're conserving energy because it feels very, there's a lot to keep track of if you're trying to evaluate every person or every situation. So, you can't really relax into that. And so now I feel less tension, I guess I would say.
Yes. Only if you would be willing to share with us a really explicit example of exactly how would that be like, oh, I don't like men with hats and somebody's wearing a hat and I hate him. Something like really direct. And the reason for me asking you that is because then and only then will you, who is not your body, it is also us, will know what it is. You see? But only if you wish.
Well, I don't know how to specify it when it's all humans.
Well, but you can go on from there. It's all humans.
Not always, but yeah.
Was it just the fact that we exist here with you?
Well, the sense of otherness, you know, it's the sense of, yeah, the sense of like there's me and there's another. And in that space, then there is, yes, the sharks. Or the water or the yes, the water. It's just the water. There are no sharks, but the water is there. But only if I'm, you know, the object, if I'm the swimmer, I guess.
Well, so far as you've been speaking about this, what has happened?
Well, it just doesn't feel so intense, and it doesn't feel so like such a big deal. Like in the beginning, it felt like very like when you're in a ditch in a car and you can't get out of the ditch. It felt like just very like that.
Hmm. So would you be willing to say more about what it is that makes the others dangerous? What is being protected?
Yeah, the sense of me is being protected.
Ah. And who are you now speaking about it?
Well, I'm not that one right now.
Do you want to be later?
No, that's that is why I'm here.
But you get more of a sense of that sense of me. Here we really want to make it into an object. You see what I mean? So we can discredit it from its pretense to be you. So that's why I keep asking you sharper and sharper questions.
I know the one that is being protected. Yeah.
You know, it's so beautiful and to me interesting, knowing because our experiences when we pretend to be human objects, they're all very similar. They all tend to go towards the sense of me, which ordinarily is called egoism, some kind of inflammation of the ego. And see, that's the one that's very interesting. Uncovering that one and really seeing it for what it is can be very painful from the sense of it's sort of disheartening, but in a really tender way. Gee, I can't believe that I thought myself to be that. It's like heartbreaking. But the only reason why it's there, you only can find for yourself exactly your own reasons. But in general, it might be, oh, it is there so that the heart will not be broken again. But the act of that it is doing, it's in itself is heartbreaking constantly. And so that there's like a crust that, like a scab that grows around it, becomes tough. So here we just soften it with love. Seeing, oh, it's all right, it's okay. Mónica hablaba acerca de su egoísmo. Ella no lo dijo así, te lo digo yo así, para traducirlo con más claridad. Y como en ella el egoísmo se manifiesta como una reacción contra los demás. No que ella esté contra los otros, sino que dentro de ella se percibe que los otros están contra ella. Por el simple hecho de existir, de ser no ella. Now that I translated it, it's really beautiful. It's much better than what I said in English. ¿Qué decías?
No, que esto se entiende porque a mí también me pasa a veces.
Yeah, so now she's saying that happens to her too. I mean, it happens to everybody.
Yeah.
If you say that it never happened to you, then you're just a liar. But the way that I said it, which was particularly striking in the way that it was said, is yes, she's offended by the fact that others exist. But isn't that our case? We are all offended. Oh, how dare you be not me? But it's such it's such a paradoxical thing, because of course that presumption already is based on the fact that we know that everybody is me, everybody.
Yeah.
How dare you not be me exactly as I am? See, then it would be safe. If you were exactly the way, with my own particular objects, then we would be similar. And then we would be safe. Yes, but that's very nice. How dare you exist and not be exactly like I am? I must categorize them.